Welcome to the Know, I'm Ashley.
I'm John.
And Bioware's new IP, Anthem, that's the one that was codenamed to Dylan for a long time, made a pretty big splash in E3 last month because, oh my god, it's July now. And thanks to some very clever wordplay, Microsoft convinced quite a few people that it could possibly be an Xbox One exclusive. Fortunately for PlayStation fans, Sony finally got to post its own version of the E3 footage of Anthem on PlayStation's YouTube channel over the weekend. Pretty great.
That's good news. There's only a problem. It wasn't gameplay from a PlayStation 4 or even a PlayStation 4 Pro or like anything that has the word PlayStation in the name.
Not from a PlayStation 2.
Yeah, that would be really interesting if they did that. Nope, gameplay was posted to the channel was actually from an Xbox One X.
Basically, it's like the equivalent of Anthem like having sex with PS4 and then accidentally like screaming out Xbox's name.
That is a very interesting metaphor.
Very awkward.
Anthem, don't be so shady. Even if you're a multi-plat, you've got to make each of these consoles feel special.
Look, now we've got a lot of people making a really big deal about this case of mistaken console identity. Like, oh, maybe Sony was the one who took the footage and altered it, or knowingly used Xbox One X footage and tried to pass it off as their own so that everyone would think that the PS4 version looks super duper awesome. But this is not, of course, the first time that someone has accidentally used gameplay footage from another console. Actually, has happened quite a bit. Usually, it's nothing nefarious.
Cool. Well, let's go over the facts first and sum up how all of this went down.
All right, Anthem. Again, if you didn't know, is the new IP that Bioware's been working on. People have been speculating about it forever. It was codenamed Dylan. It was finally unveiled at EA's 2017 E3 show, and the sci-fi shooter, which is the genre of the game, looks a little bit like Destiny. Not that that's a bad thing.
It's
It
pretty.
seems to have a lot of similar gameplay setups to Destiny.
Spacesuit dudes.
Yeah, lots of spacesuits. And its demo turned a bunch of heads with stunning use of technology. Really, really looks amazing.
Following the reveal of the game, there was actually quite a bit of confusion about whether or not it would be coming to the PlayStation 4 at all. Mostly thanks to the way the reveal was treated and a bunch of fancy marketing terms around the word exclusive.
Launch exclusive. But rest assured, it is coming to Xbox One, PS4, and PC, and Sony probably posted the trailer as confirmation that it was coming to PS4 to really start to message that to the PlayStation audience. But almost immediately, people noticed that something was a little bit weird. Eurogamer pointed out that in certain spots in the video, you can actually see that button prompts have been overlaid with the PS4 inputs.
Yeah, people are gonna catch that on the internet. They have nothing to do but go through frame by frame of stuff.
Yeah.
As Eurogamer put it, there are frames where the edit fades in where both the original Xbox control prompts and PS4 overlay can be seen. So that means Sony, was showcasing Xbox One X footage rather than PS4 footage, and the PS4 button prompts were just the work of some photoshopping, you know?
Naturally, internet showed up to mock the video. Now it's been removed forever from PlayStation's channel.
Just like a screaming Tom Cruise in The Mummy. Remember that? They released, nothing but screaming Tom Cruise. And it's gone, but people still got it. It's still there if you really want to look for it.
Like all the really awkward efforts.
Yeah. Now, there are all kinds of accusations flying around, like that maybe Sony took the footage, photoshopped it themselves, and are now trying to delete the evidence by removing the video. But honestly, nobody knows what the real answer is, and really the answer is probably just a lot more boring.
Unfortunately, it'd be really cool if it was exciting, but it's probably just, oh, well, I guess we should get the right version.
Whoops.
But it does mean that we still don't actually know what Anthem's going to look like on the PS4 Pro or the PS4, which is pretty significant if you own one. What we do know about the demo is that it was running on Xbox One X.
Yeah, Digital Foundry examined the feed and determined to the best of their ability it was running on an Xbox One X. The PC version of Frostbite renders things natively instead of a downscaled checkerboard faux 4K. Faux 4K, I like that. Plus, it's doing some things the PS4 Pro wouldn't be able to do.
Yeah, they ultimately concluded the visual target we saw in the Anthem demo should be achievable by the Xbox One X hardware, and it'll be fascinating to see how this game will scale up to high-end PCs and down to PS4 Pro, PS4, and, of course, Xbox One.
So, considering that this was one of the big games showing off the Xbox One X's capabilities at the show, it makes a bit more of an issue that Sony was passing the same video off as something that either of their consoles could achieve visually. Because if that video was Anthem running on Xbox One X, then it's a bit misleading to act like the same fidelity would be possible on the PS4 or the PS4 Pro.
And while it is misleading, it might not be entirely Sony's fault. Not entirely, although the overlays were definitely kind of lazy. Because the way this typically works in the industry, a lot of times, is that any footage for a new game comes directly from the publisher. So more than likely, EA is the one that supplied Sony with this footage to use for their channel, which would mean any alterations to the original Xbox One X capture were done by EA itself rather than PlayStation.
Which, if that's the case, is kind of a bum deal for Sony, who simply uploaded what the publisher gave to them, and now they're the ones catching all the embarrassing heat about it.
But, of course, again, we mentioned this earlier, not the first time this has happened in the video game world. Publishers get a little bit slapdash with their gameplay footage all the time, which then leads to a lot of faux pas over the years.
There was that time that a PS4 promo for Battlefield 4 ended up using PC footage instead. And remember, when Microsoft used PlayStation 3 footage to promote Final Fantasy XIII on the Xbox 360. And more recently, Microsoft accidentally uploaded PS4 footage of Watch Dogs on the Xbox channel. So yeah, it goes both ways, and these accidents are always good for a little laugh, depending on which console you have.
Now, lots of times turns out to be the fault of the publisher, who, again, might accidentally supply footage of a game running on the wrong console, so in all likelihood, this is just a case of EA trying to get PlayStation the footage it needs quickly after whatever exclusivity period is over with Microsoft. They probably had a contract with Xbox stating the trailer went up with them first for a certain amount of time, and then they could have it, send it over to PlayStation.
They just sent the wrong zip file. That's all they did. They
yeah.
just had it named wrong and just sent it over. And that, I mean,
if only it had been a RAR file instead. They always store the PlayStation.
That's literally like how like meaningless this like explanation could be of just like, we sent the wrong email. Or like we had
although, I mean, they did overlay it.
Yeah, but maybe that was just like temp footage, and they just forgot to, you know, put. I mean, that happens. You put in temp footage of stuff. It's really just dumb answers. And since the game is in an early state, they might not have had a PlayStation build available yet at all, or they were simply cutting corners and altered the original video because they were lazy and were up drinking the night before. I don't know.
Regardless of the explanation, though, sucks for Sony because it leads to not only the kind of embarrassment of having to remove the YouTube video, but then it looks especially bad because it makes it seem like they're trying to use Xbox One X footage to sell the game for their less powerful consoles, trying to make the game look better than it will actually be, that sort of thing.
And really, this is just a symptom of an underlying problem we're going to keep running into over the next few years thanks to our new iterative console future.
Now every time we get a trailer, we're gonna have to figure out, is the game running on PC, Xbox One X, PS4 Pro, old and busted regular Xbox One, PS4. And you can bet gamers will get all upset about it all over again the next time it happens.
Of course, this is all a moot point. It turns out this whole demo is nothing but a vertical slice a la Watch Dogs, and the finished product looks nothing like this level of technological wizardry on any platform, because that's an option. Given how early in development it still looks, that's a distinct possibility. It kind of sucks that it is.
So then instead of being embarrassing for just PlayStation, it's embarrassing for
everybody!
So what we're saying is no matter how pretty it looks, let's not shovel any coal onto the hype train until we see more of the game in action, right? Then we can judge who's overselling their hardware or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, the internet's just gonna kind of chill it out with the hype a little bit, right? They always do that.
Always.
We can count on you, internet. So, until the next trailer controversy, what do you guys think of PlayStation hosting the Xbox One X version of Anthem up on their channel? Let us know in the comments.
For future updates on all kinds of silliness from PlayStation and Xbox, because, well, they can both be pretty
They're silly.
Make sure you like this video, and if you're new here, subscribe to the Know.
Michael Bay used footage from the island for Transformers.
Yeah, that was pretty sweet.
I think there was like a recent shot from like Power Rangers that was reused somewhere else as well.
Nice.
And they could tell that it was like the same lineup of people. It's like, it's clearly from the same thing. So people just share.
It was just like the alternate angle they had.
Just share. Throw that out there. It's a very nice skirt you're wearing. This camera really can't show, but it's very nice.